Hey guys, Leagues 2 has launched, and I wanted to make this quick informal video on what exactly I'm doing as a mostly AFK or work from home player for this league. So, I've been discussing with a lot of people on what the best way is to get the most out of your league's experience if you don't have a bunch of active time to play. Me, myself, I personally only have today for a few hours, and then I'm going to be traveling for an entire week where I can only check on mobile maybe once or twice a day, if that. I wanted to share my relic route with those who might be in a similar situation as me and just go over some of my thoughts on why I chose what I chose. And by the time you watch this and comment, I might not have even selected beyond my second or third relic. So if I've gotten something wrong or there's something better than what I say, please do leave a comment below. But let's jump right into it. So for my tier 1 relic, I'm getting Endless Harvest. For my tier 2 relic, I'm getting Superheated. Tier 3 is Voidwalker. Tier 4 is Transmutation. Tier 5 is Devout. Tier 6 is Rejuvenated. And Tier 7 is Icyenic Faith. A lot of these relic choices might be somewhat obvious for somebody who wants to AFK a lot, but some others might not be. So let me explain what my thought process is here. Tier 1 Endless Harvest, that makes a lot of sense, I think. Obviously, it's just basically a 15-minute or whatever your lobby timer is AFK. So you'll be able to do mining, fishing, woodcutting, and archaeology, just basically clicking and walking away, which is something that I'm going to be doing a lot while I'm traveling. If I can just open mobile or my laptop or something while I'm doing some work, I can just tap that and I don't need to think about it. I get 15 minutes worth of XP and resources, and I'm going to come back to more than what I started with, which is basically the goal, just trying to progress as much as I can without doing as much as I can. So for tier 2, that just adds to the tier 1 effect. So you'll now be fire making because of the auto burning of the logs. You'll be cooking with the auto cooking of the fish. So it basically is going to allow you to round out to 6 AFK gathering skills where you can just click and walk away. And I think that that suits the AFK and work from home lifestyle a lot. Now, Voidwalker is just passive supplies and mobility. Obviously, it gives you the teleports, the passive supplies. I'm thinking that they'll come in handy. Honestly, I don't want to spend too much time on it because I think it'll be nice, but I don't know enough about what it'll give us to tell you that this is absolutely the best choice for tier 3. It just seemed like the best passive choice for tier 3 to me. For tier 4, transmutation, I think, is an obvious pick for most people. It's just going to allow us to not be stuck at any one region. So if our region doesn't have Bainite ore, for example, and we want to train our mining and smithing, or rather our smithing in this case, we can just transmute our ore up to Bainite to use that for smithing and level up our smithing. Same with an endless amount of resources. That's just really nice. It doesn't make you run all around the map and unlock specific regions just to get certain resources. So I think it's a really obvious pick for me for tier 4. Now, tier 5, Devout, this may not be your choice, and that's okay. I think that Devout is really cool, and it also has some strong passives that might be training skills for you. I don't really know how fast it's going to allow you to train, but it'll basically remove the ability, or remove the necessity rather, to bank and to leave wherever you're at. So if you're at PVM or skilling and you don't have the auto banking or something, you don't have to leave. You don't have to run over to a bank, find a bank. You can do it in the most obscure locations. It doesn't matter. I think it just sounds really fun. And then having familiars that boost a specific skill is going to slowly give you XP in that skill. So the skills that I've listed on there, I think are all of them. So you can just spawn a familiar with those skill boosts and it'll slowly give you XP in that over time. I'm not really sure how much, we'll see, but I think it just sounds fun and that's why I've chosen it. For tier 6, I've chosen Rejuvenated and I'm going back into Golden Touch. Now, a lot of people chose this as a tier 1. Me personally, I chose it as a tier 6 because I see it not only as an agility and a prayer solve, but I also see it as a way to get a bunch of supplies. Now, if you want to choose something like Tier Anwin, you have all the elves in one location that you can AFK pickpocket for a bunch of supplies. That's going to be really helpful. Now, I don't know if that's going to be your pick, so obviously this is just a great one regardless of where you are. Just find some NPCs that drop some really good supplies. It also solves gold. You've got basically an infinite amount of gold if you do that. And it's going to have so many supplies and getting taking care of agility and prayer. I think that's just a wonderful combo. The reason why I'm doing that at tier 6 as opposed to tier 1 is because I think tier 1 it's going to be good, but I would rather be able to just click and walk away. And I know that you could do that with this, but at least I can choose 4 different skills to level up as opposed to just clicking and pickpocketing. And a lot of the pickpocketing is going to be really useful end game. And I think by the time I get to tier 6, I'll be ready to go pickpocket for some supplies and I can use those for PVMing. I don't really think you're going to need any food or potions if you choose this route. And then tier 7, Icyenic Faith, I think that's pretty obvious too. It's just going to really buff you on the defenses, automatic soul split, 100% prayers. So it's going to just help you be relaxed in your PVM. I'm not a great PVMer, so I'm definitely going to choose it to just activate my prayers and sit there and AFK and see how much damage I can do. And I'm not talking about regions so much in here, but I will tell you the first region I do plan on going with. I'm still going to talk to some people today to see if this is going to be the case, but I want to go to Anachronia and have the workers who are going to work overnight for me. They'll work 24/7 collecting resources from the island. And then over time, you can use those in these skilling stations to level up the skills in the Dream of Aya. I think that's going to be really powerful. I also think that the player owned farm or the ranch out of time is going to be nice there. You can start that, I think, level 42. And also, I just really love Anachronia. I came from old school RuneScape. We don't have Anachronia. So it's just really cool. And it'll also allow me to do the higher level archaeology, which is going to be fun. I actually like archaeology for some reason. And I think it's going to be a really solid pick overall. When you get to tier 7, you're also going to be able to use the warp time ability or spell rather as much as you want. So you can just boost that and keep going and collecting resources to deposit in those skilling stations. And it's basically going to allow you to get, I think somebody said 5 mil XP an hour at tier 7. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not, but it's going to solve 6 additional skills. And I think that that's really cool and a really nice thing that I can AFK. And if I unlock it today somehow, then I can have those workers working for me the entire week while I'm traveling and just come in every night, claim the resources, contribute them, and use them and level up my stats. So that's my rough plan. Obviously, we'll see what happens once the rubber meets the road and I start on here, but I wanted to share that for anyone else who might be in a similar situation. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day and enjoy the league.